YouTube. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and today we're live on LinkedIn as well. Uh, for all our leadership meetings, we intend to be live on LinkedIn. So we're live on LinkedIn today. So let's share all the links. Let's confirm sound. I think the sound should be okay on TikTok. On Instagram, we're live on Facebook, Michael Agbamoro and Spectacular City Church. On Instagram, Michael Agbamoro, Spectacular City Church. On YouTube, Spectacular City Church. On LinkedIn, Michael Agbamoro. On Podbean, Spectacular City Church. On Twitter Space, Michael Agbamoro. And we're also live on Clubhouse. So let's share the meeting. Let's get everyone to join in. And I'm going to try to wrap up tonight these qualities of relationship leaders or relationship builders, sorry, qualities of relationship builders. That's what we're going to be wrapping up tonight. It's been a very interesting conversation that we started, I think, last month. And this month, we've been focusing on the qualities. I started with the first 6 qualities, if I'm not mistaken, or 7 qualities, and I'm going to give the remaining qualities today. But I'll run down on these qualities very quickly. There are 14 qualities. I'll run down on these qualities, then I will continue from where I stopped last week. So, when we speak to relationship builders, we're speaking to those that build relationships, right? And for every one of us as leaders, we must have or possess these qualities of building relationship. We must master the skill of building relationship as leaders. It becomes very critical for us as leaders to build relationship in order for us to be able to actualize the vision that we are running with as leaders. Every leader is a leader because they are running with a vision. And the second or critical part of the leadership is casting the vision, which is number one. The second part is building relationships, bringing people together to execute the vision, which is number three. So, number one is casting the vision, number two is building relationship, and number three is executing the vision. And so, it becomes very important to master the skill of bringing people together to execute the vision. Now, before I continue, and I'm just giving a preamble and then I continue. What's the difference between leadership and influence? What's the difference between leadership and influence? You may ask yourself. The difference between leadership and influence is that influence is just really getting people to do things, right? Just really being able to get people to do things, to do something, convince them to move in a certain way, to think in a certain way. That's what influence is. But leadership is not just getting people to do things, but getting people to come together to work towards achieving a common objective. So, influence is there's no real common objective when it comes to influence. It's just that this person influences you to take a step, to do something. We have people we call influencers. There's no common objective. They're just influencing you in certain ways and certain ways. But the difference is that a leader is not just influencing you, but they are influencing you towards achieving a common objective. And so what makes it leadership is that there's a vision, there's a big picture that we want to achieve together. And so you see there that for you to be a leader, you must have a clear vision. You must be able to communicate this vision enough to build relationships with different individuals, people, resources, bringing them together in an organized way in order for you to achieve your objective. And so that's what makes you a leader. And so because of that, you need to master the art of building relationships. You need to master it. And I'm not talking about making friends. Don't get me wrong. So, and I'll say another thing again, and I just want to clarify because when you say every leader, when you say you're a leader, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not building friendship. You're building relationship because there's a difference between being friends and being friendly. You can be friendly with people and have good, relationship with people. That's just really be friendly with people. The fact that you're friendly with someone does not make them your friend. It's important that we know this, especially as leaders when we're building. Friendliness does not equate friendship. You can be friendly with someone, but does not mean they're your friend. So when we speak to relationship building, we as leaders understand that we're not building friendship, we're building relationship. And part of building relationship is building friendship, but not every relationship is a friendship. Don't forget, the goal of building relationship is towards achieving a common objective. There's a vision, and so you communicate and cast that vision in a clear way that people buy into that vision to the extent that they want to work together towards achieving that vision. And so, where you come in as a leader is that you lead the vision, you communicate the vision, you bring together individuals, people who key into that vision, and together in an organized way, you work towards achieving the vision. That's it. If you're leading a team, you're leading a community, you're leading an organization, you're leading the people, any group or any setting where you're leading, there's always a common objective. And so for you as a leader, your goal is to build quality relationships to the extent that you succeed in achieving those common objectives. I use the word common objective because the objective has to be collective. It has to be common. What that means is that everyone that you're bringing together must buy into that objective, must buy into that vision, must buy into that goal, and together you're walking towards achieving it. And so you execute the vision, and that's why you need to master the art of building relationships. And now I'm going to say this, and I've not gotten to my teaching. I'm saying all of this now. I'm going to say this finally. There is no one that is able to achieve the purposes of God for their life alone. You need people. No one is able to achieve God's purpose for their life alone. You will always need people. We need people. We will always need people. And that's why we need to build relationships. If anyone wants to achieve the purposes of God for their life, anyone, anyone, including Jesus, Jesus needed people. Think about it. Jesus needed people, he needed his disciples. And so no one is truly able to achieve any kind of objective, especially if it is God given, God driven, alone. You always need people. And so the need for you to master the skill of building relationship is critical to your God ordained destiny. So today's teaching is an important element in your God ordained destiny. In order for you to attain to achieve your God ordained destiny, you must master the skill of building relationships. And today I'm going to give in total 14 qualities of relationship builders. 14 qualities of relationship builders. I've explained in the last teaching about 7 of them, and I'm going to explain the rest today. But I'm going to run down the list very quickly, and then I will explain. Number 1 quality of a relationship builder is that they are connectors. I call them bridge builders. They build bridges, not wall. Number 1. Number 2, they are conflict managers. They know how to manage conflict. Number 3, they are collaborators. They have mastered the art of collaborating. Number 4, they are coaches. They coach. They know how to coach. They are coaches, not controllers. And so they are not controllers. They are coaches. In working with people that they need to build up, they don't control. They coach. Number 5, they are carers. They are carers. They care so much, genuinely care for the people that they are working with, genuinely care. They come into that relationship genuinely caring for that individual, for people. Number 6, they are cultivators. They know how to cultivate. They cultivate relationships. And so they come in with the mindset of nourishing that relationship. They're not just collectors, but they're cultivators. Number seven, they are cheerful givers. They give their time, their resources. They are contributors. And so when we speak to cheerful givers, we're speaking to contributors, number seven. And number eight, they are celebrators. Number nine, they are co-creators. Number 10, they are comforters. Number 11, they are communicators. Number 12, they are courteous. Number 11, they are committed lifters. Sorry, number 13, they are committed lifters. And number 15, 14, they are community builders. I stopped at last time I talked on this at number seven, cheerful givers. I explained who connectors are. Connectors, number one, are they are bridge builders. They build bridges. They're all about building bridges. They bring people together. They don't build walls. Number two, they master the art of conflict management. I've made a commitment to teach conflict management separately. I'm going to be teaching conflict management separately, and I spoke about three main types of conflict. We have the task-based conflict. We have also the relationship conflict and the value conflict. This conflict types of conflict determine the solutions that we all prefer to solving conflict. So every relationship builder must master the art of conflict management. They are very good conflict managers. They are collaborators, number three. Number four, they are coaches. They are not controllers. They're not in the business of controlling people. They're in the business of controlling. They're not in the business of controlling people. They're in the business of coaching. They are more of coaches than controllers. And they care. Number five, they really do care. They really care. You can genuinely see that these individuals care. Number six, like I said, they are cultivators. Number seven, they are cheerful givers. They are contributors. They're not in the relationship to just take or collect. They're there to give. They're contributing to the relationship. They're nourishing the relationship. Number eight, and I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to try to see if I can finish up to number 14. Number eight, which will continue from today, is they are celebrators. So one of the key quality every relationship builder must have is they must know how to celebrate people. Every relationship builder must know how to celebrate people. You can't be a relationship builder and not know how to celebrate, how to give what is due to individuals. You're working in the team, you don't know how to give praises. You don't have to give the accolade. If someone does a good job, you find it difficult to say, well done, you did a good job. It's difficult for you to just appreciate. That's a problem for you if you are a leader. Every leader and every great relationship builder know how to celebrate their people. They celebrate the team. They celebrate people for the job well done. They are it's easy for them to celebrate. It's something they do very easily. It's not something that is difficult for them. And so for you as a relationship builder, you must possess the quality of a celebrator. You must celebrate the team. Always celebrate them. No matter even if they did something and it's not necessarily the best. Celebrate them for the effort, at least. Even if you want to correct, even if you want to give feedback, celebrate the effort. Start from the standpoint of celebrating and move up to the next point of feedback. Don't be quick to criticize. Some of us are very quick to jump in to criticize. But it's important that in criticizing, we build on the foundation of celebrating, appreciating the effort. That way, we're able to get the best of the team. Celebrate the effort, celebrate excellence, celebrate those that go the extra mile. Always celebrate the team, celebrate your people. Every opportunity that you have as a relationship builder, celebrate people. Show appreciation. When someone does something, appreciate them genuinely. It's important that you show that level of gratitude and appreciation. So, great relationship builders are celebrators. Celebrating people is easy, it comes easy for them. They are quick to celebrate the team, they are quick to celebrate their co workers, they are quick to celebrate everyone that is celebrating, that has done a good job. Celebrate the people. Number nine, they are co-creators. You see, they're not in the business of coming to consume. Relationship builders have a mindset of co creating, not consuming. You see, you're coming together to create something. That's how we think as relationship builders. We're creating something. We're creating a relationship. We're creating a vision. We're creating an objective. We're on a mission. We're creating something that will impact, that will add value. We're creating value. And so we are co creators in this relationship. It's not one person that is creating and the other person is consuming. No, that's not the quality of a relationship builder. A relationship builder creates, and they will love to deal with co creators. They love to work with co creators. Together, we create more. That's the way we think as relationship builders. Together, we create more. If one person is doing the creating in the relationship, uh, it it limits the potential or the results that can be attained in that relationship. Well, when two co-creators come together to put in the effort to create something beautiful, they create more. Now, hear me now. Hear me clearly. When you co-create with co-creators, you are able to get more than you will have done by yourself. The only thing better than working together with, the only thing that is worse than working alone. Now, let me put it this way: the only thing worse than working alone is working with a consumer, not a co-creator, where your effort is being drained by a consumer in that relationship. It's better to work alone than to work with a consumer in a relationship. But what is better than working alone is working with a co-creator. You guys are creating value together. You're creating value that will help, that will benefit you as individuals, benefit you together, and benefit others as well. And so every relationship builder has the mindset of co-creating. They are great co-creators. So what value can we create together? What value are we creating together? It's not one person coming in doing all the creation and you're there just taking and taking and taking. That's not how you build relationships. Relationships are always about co-creating. The question then is, what are we creating? Are we creating value? Are we creating uh, what are we creating together? And so we need to ask that question. And that's the way we think as relationship builders. We're always thinking from a creator mindset. Number 10 is they are comforters. Comforters. You see, we always need people to comfort us in the times of challenge. Even Jesus, when he was going through that difficult time at the Garden of Gethsemane, he needed people around him to pray with him. So we need comforters at every point in our lives. As someone, we need people that we can just lean on, people that we can just talk to, people that can just comfort us and we can comfort. Relationship builders are good comforters. Maybe something is weighing you so down, you feel so downcast, you feel so heavy. There's always one person that you always want to talk to. Of course, you talk to God, but sometimes there's always that person that comes to you. That person is a comforter. The question I should ask, and we should ask ourselves, is: am I that person that my connection would want to talk to when they are going through their difficult time? That's the question you must ask yourself. Are you a comforter? Every relationship builder is a very good comforter. They're there to comfort you with encouraging words. They're there to comfort you and be a shoulder to lean on, to help you, to lift you up when you sink down. And so every relationship builder is a good comforter. Every relationship builder is a good comforter. They comfort. They offer this comfort from the depth of their hearts. They offer it, they offer it in abundance, and they want to see you lifted and encouraged. And so this is very, very important for relationship builders, because you will always have people around you that need comfort. Maybe your team members that are going through challenges, maybe someone in your group, in your community that you're leading. They need someone to comfort, someone just to listen to them, someone just to tell them it will be okay. And so it's not just always about the tax, but really being there to comfort people. When people really know that you care, they will be ready to give their all towards the vision, towards the goal, towards the objective of the team. You see them willing to go the extra mile. And this is as a result of you as a relationship builder offering comfort when it is needed. Number 10, relationship, no, not number 10, I just said number 10 was comforter. Number 11, relationship builders are good communicators. There is no room for miscommunication. Relationship builders are clear communicators. They communicate the vision, they communicate ideas, they communicate clearly. They ensure that the communication circle is complete. There is no room for assumptions. And so relationship builders communicate and communicate clearly. And so the skill of communication is critical for you in order for you to be an exceptional relationship builder. The skill the skill of communication. So every one of us as relationship builders, we must master the skill of communicating. We must master it. We must master the skill of communicating, knowing how to communicate, knowing that sometimes, we need to understand that you don't have to raise your voice to pass the message. I know it's difficult for some of us where we want to pass the message, but we just have to raise our no. And so these are things that we learn. Clarity in communication, communicating clearly, using the right tone when we are communicating. These are all part of communicating. And I taught this a couple of times. I talked about the tone, your tone matters when you're communicating and all that, in building communication and utilizing various communication channels from the visual communication to the audio communication to the text communication, using all of these formats very well, avoiding miscommunication. Sometimes when you're texting, you have to be careful to, not send the wrong message. These are all the things that we learn as relationship builders. And sometimes when we need to speak instead of typing, we speak so that we are able to speak past the message with the right tone and right intention. Sometimes in trying to pass the message, we allow our emotions to becloud the objective of the message and we lose the message in the air because we passed it with the wrong emotions. So it's important that we master the art of communicating and communicating clearly. That's number 11. Number 12, relationship builders are courteous people. They're courteous. There's this courtesy, natural courtesy that we must have as relationship builders. And this speaks to respect, being respectful. And so another meaning for being cautious is being respectful. Another meaning for being cautious is being respectful. So when we say someone is a cautious person, just really have respect for people. You talk to people with respect and regard. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter whether you're higher than them or whether you feel you're not in the same class with them and all of that. But just really speaking to people with respect. You see, this is a universal language. The language of respect is universal. When people feel respected, when people feel respect, they feel they're at ease with you, right? That way you're breaking the barriers. It's always important for us as relationship builders to communicate with respect, to build relationship and building this relationship with great respect. Let respect be the foundation of building a relationship. Let the respect be mutual. Don't speak to people in certain ways. Don't treat people in certain ways. Treat people with respect. That's what we do as relationship builders. And this is an important quality for every relationship builder. When you know that your leader respects you, speaks with great courtesy, shows great courtesy in their conduct, in their communication with you, in their relating with you, then you feel valued, right? Then you feel valued in that relation, and then you're able to bring your best into the relationship. And so, this is critical for every one of us as leaders, relationship builders, to have a strong sense of courtesy, have a strong sense of respect for everyone, not just people that are higher than us, but really everyone, everyone, everyone. Because from from the handyman to the repairman to the Jonathan to everyone, your boss, your manager, your colleagues, just really showing them great respect. So some of us only respect people that we feel like, desire, this person deserves to respect, and I need to give them the respect. Maybe they're my superiors and all. No, no. Respect is deserving of everyone, and we must imbibe the quality of being respectful as relationship builders. Number 13 is what I call committed lifters. It's an important quality of relationship builders. Who is a committed lifter? A committed lifter is someone that lifts others. They lift others. It's easy for them to lift others. They want to lift others. It's their desire that others be lifted. They don't want, to be the only one on top. Relationship builders have that mindset. They want to lift others. Sometimes it's to lift others to your level. Sometimes it's even to lift them above your level. As long as there's a lifting, you have the opportunity to lift them. Relationship builders are great lifters. And that's why I say they are committed lifters. They just want to lift people. That's all they do. They are lifters of men. Relationship builders are lifters of men. Every opportunity they have to lift, they lift people. When people perceive you as a lifter, they want to have relationship with you. When people perceive you as respectful, they want to have relationship with you. When people perceive you as a good communicator, as a good comforter, as a co-creator, as a celebrator, they want to build relationship with you. And you see, it becomes important for us as relationship builders to imbibe these qualities because it helps us attract the right people into our world. It helps us to attract the right people, to assemble the right people in order for us to achieve our common objective. And so every relationship builder must be a committed lifter. Make up your mind that you're going to be a committed lifter, lifting men, lifting people. When people see you as a committed lifter, you're lifting them in words, in action, in any way possible. You are lifting people. When people perceive you that way, when people perceive you as a committed lifter, as a lifter, they want to relate with you. In the team, they know you as someone that is committed to lifting others, lifting everyone. That's what they know you as. Then you are a good relationship builder. And finally, number 14 is every relationship builder is a community builder. Every relationship builder is a community. They know how to build communities. They know how to bring people together and build communities. And so it's not just bringing the team together. It's not just creating a group together. It's building a community that is building together, a community that is growing together, a community that is achieving together. And so they are community builders. You see, and that's the key thing, right? When you master the art of building communities, you're able to create your own tribe because the one that builds community attracts people who are looking for their own tribe. And so people are easy to find it easy to connect with you because they see you as a builder of communities. And so every leader, relationship builder, every relationship builder is a good community builder. They know how to build communities. They know how to bring people together from diverse background, diverse experiences, bring them together to work together towards a common objective. You see, teams, groups are set up with objectives, and after those objectives are achieved, they disband. But when we speak to communities, communities are not just to like a team where you set up and you disband. Community is more of building a tribe, right? It's not just about achieving one set objective, but achieving one set objective and building on that to achieve more and more to the extent that you begin to build a tribe. That's what relationship builders do. They build a large network of communities. They're able to do that, and they do that with ease because they've mastered the art of these 14 qualities of great relationship builders. Why do you need these qualities? Like I said, you need these qualities critical to achieving your God ordained destiny. You need them. You need to have relationship with diverse people. Sometimes people you don't like. Sometimes people that don't really align with you. But because you need to achieve certain objectives and you guys probably have similar vision and they connect to the vision, they want to work together, you're able to come together, put your resources together, and put aside your differences to achieve a common objective. That's the beauty of a great relationship builder. They know how to put their differences aside. They know how to make others put their differences aside and come together to achieve a common collective objective. So I'm going to stop here for now. I'm happy to take questions on relationship, the qualities of relationship builder, and I think I spoke to. This is a teaching that we've been teaching for the last maybe 3 weeks or so, and like I said, leadership rests on three pillars: the vision, casting, relationship building, and execution. And every leader needs to be a relationship builder. And the first thing I did in the first teaching was I really spoke to how you master relationship building as a leader. And I spoke to 8 things that you must be. That you must, number one, be authentic. Number two, you must see the value in people. You must love people. Number three, number four, you must be a good model. Number five, you must listen, listen, listen. Number six, you must foster trust. Number seven, you must have a heart of gratitude. Number eight, you must have actionable empathy. Those are the important elements of mastering relationship building. And I went on to speak to 14 qualities every relationship builder must have. And I'm going to run through them very quickly, then wrap up. I said that number one, you must be a great connector. Number two, you must be a good conflict manager. Number three, you must be an amazing collaborator. Number four, you must be a great coach. Number five, you must be a great carer. Number six, you must be a good cultivator. Number seven, you must be a cheerful giver. Number eight, you must be a celebrator of people. Number nine, you must be a co creator. Number 10, you must be a comforter. Number 11, you must be a communicator, a good communicator. Number 12, you must be cautious, respectful. Number 13, you must be a committed lifter. And finally, number 14, you must be a great community builder. And so these are important qualities that every relationship builder must have. Thank you so much. I'm happy to take questions. Over to you, Sister Anne. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Michael. What a powerful, powerful teaching this evening. I hope we all have gotten what we came this evening for and are blessed. Praise God. I have some questions with me at the back end. And feel free, family, in case you have questions, to use the hand raise button. We'll bring you up stage to ask your question. Or you can drop it on the room chat. We will gladly pick up your question. But we'll go straight to the questions we have at the back end. Pastor Michael, you did talked about creating an atmosphere where members feel safe, and so I feel this question is related to that. I'm not too sure which point precisely, but let me just quickly check. Okay. So yes. So Pastor Michael, I don't know if you would be able to talk. It's concerning comforter. The first question came in regards to point 10, which is comforter. So I'll just read out the question. It says, how can leaders create an environment where team members feel safe to express their concern and vulnerabilities? So how can a member of a team or how can the leader create the environment where the member of the team can feel safe to express their concern, to express their vulnerabilities to the leader, and in order to boost or probably to create a good working environment or engagement between the team and the leader itself. Pastor Michael, I don't know if you got the question. If you'd like me to read it again or to paraphrase it, I'll gladly do that.
Yeah, I'm not very clear on the question, to be honest.
Okay.
So if you can.
Okay, so I'll just read.
Yes.
Okay, I will just read it out. It says, how can leaders create an environment where team members feel safe to express their concerns and vulnerabilities? Did you get that, Pastor Michael?
Okay, so you say how can team members create? Is it the team members that
How
create?
can the leader? No,
Okay.
how can leaders now? So how can we as leaders create an environment where the team members feel safe, where the team members can come up and share their vulnerabilities and not being judged with them expressing themselves? I believe yes.
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
what it means.
I got a question now.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And so, and this is very important, right? That every leader creates that environment where people can just really feel safe. They can share their vulnerabilities, that they don't pretend, they can be truly authentic. So it's important that people can be themselves, and that when they're going through their challenges or their downtimes, they they feel safe enough to express themselves. And the whole idea of expressing themselves is that they are able to get the help that they need. And so you're not just saying, "Oh, I feel what you're going through" and all of that, but you're able to offer some kind of help to get them out of that situation. And so it's important that people know that in the environment where I'm working in that team, I can get the help that I need. I'm not just going to get just sympathy, but I'm going to get actionable empathy. And I spoke to this when I was speaking to what makes you a relationship builder. You must have what we call actionable empathy. You must be able to action your empathy. People must be able to see that this person, this person truly cares, or this leadership truly cares, and they are offering help to take me out of that situation. And so that's very important. So I can be vulnerable. And so, okay, I was vulnerable. And then what happened? I didn't get any kind of solution. I didn't get any kind of help. That's not enough. Every leader must create an environment or systems where team members can get help when they are most vulnerable. Is important. You're not just there to hear and comfort them, but you're there to support them. And so support is important, and providing the support requires that actionable empathy takes place, not just the display of empathy, but the empathy must be actionable. What does that mean? It means that we have empathy enough to help, to support, to see what we can do to bring that person out of that situation. That's what it means. And so if you're not doing that as a leader, sometimes people they're not just going to talk to you. They're not going to tell you what you're going through, because at best, what you're going to do is just you're going to tell them, "Okay, sorry," and all of that. We understand, but get back to work. No, maybe they need to take time off, right? Maybe they need to get some kind of support. So we go the extra mile to see what we can do to help members of the team who are going through certain challenges, and to be vulnerable enough to share those challenges, and we help them to find solutions. That becomes critical and important. Don't know if I answered the question, but the environment, the leader, it's the responsibility of the leader to create that environment. It's the responsibility of the leader to create the environment by setting up systems and structures. Like for us in the Spectacle City Church in our community, we are happy to, we are happy to help our people, and we do that to the extent that we can. Sometimes people come and say, "Oh, we're going through this challenge," and all that. Sometimes people say, I can't even tell. There's nobody we can tell. This is something that they're just sharing with us. and we offer them support. And sometimes this support could be financial. You see, so that's what we're speaking to. We're speaking to being there for the people. And when people know that you're there for them, when people know that you will be there for them, you will see them go the extra mile towards achieving the objective, the common objective. You'll see them. They will come out stronger and they will be more committed. Yeah. Thank you very much. Sorry, I
Thank
don't
you.
know. Before I
Okay.
continue, I don't know. I don't know if we can put still. I did mention the list. I thought that maybe I know we probably have the list on other platforms, but I can't see it on Clubhouse. The 14 qualities that I mentioned, I can see it on Clubhouse. I don't know if anyone was taking note of it. If not, I encourage those of us that are taking note of it to put it in the chat room so others can see it. I give 14 qualities of a relationship builder. I was hoping to see those qualities in the chat. I'm sure it's in on other platforms because I'm sure that it will be on other. But if we can put it on Clubhouse as well, it would be good as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It will be done shortly. Okay, so as Dr. Solomon, I don't know if you'd like to add to this question or we move to the next question. Doc?
Okay, thank you very much. I think Pastor Michael has already said that. The only thing I want to say is that for a leader, for you to be encouraged to know that you will be able to build the kind of environment is, first of all, communicate the environment, the kind of environment you want to build. Let people know that this is the kind of environment. And number two, when you have communicated it, they will hear you. Next thing is that they want to be sure that it is not just lip service, that you are actually going to do what you said. And once someone has approached you or two persons and they see that you really keep to what you said and you are doing that, they will just naturally begin to flow. So it is a thing of being informed, then also going to trusting, actions that have already taken place, then you now gain the trust. And after that, once they have gained the trust, I'm telling you, I've experienced that once when the last place I worked in Nigeria before I left the country. The company was trying, kind of being toxic to employees. But in our team, I think we're about 14 staff, then both permanent and temporary staff. We were 14. I was like the assistant lead. I have a lead over me there. Then I was the number two lead. So what we agreed, two of us, we met together. We agreed that we wanted to create our own environment. And I remember myself and Shem, we communicated to the people that we know, because when they are coming, they were already angry. When they are coming, they're already angry. They say, okay, they feel that they're oppressed. They feel that they are not valued. So we sat down and decided what we want as leaders, and we communicated it to them. And they saw us, as caring for them, comforting. And later on, we were, even their plans, people were going to even leave their plans. We're not even hidden what they were leaving to do. And sometimes we even have to cancel them, want to go and that. And even when I was leaving, they knew in the team, they knew I was leaving, even though my manager in the top there did not know, but the team they knew that I was going to leave. Okay, there are some other ways we help some people who have some personal problems in the team there, and we even created a way of celebrating the birthday. It is then I said I was number two. The number one person was sometimes the person who goes to go and run around to get the food that we used to celebrate, the small shops and some of those things. It was Shehu that handles that. She was elected, but she was out of our work. So we tried to do a lot of things to bring people together. We celebrate birthdays together. We did a lot of things together. With that, people, there was trust that yes. And sometimes about people telling us that it's because it's because of you people. We are doing this, we are doing it for you. Even though it's the company that is paying their salary, they said they were doing that for us because they wanted to ensure that we don't have a problem, that we achieve our targets, so that when the leaders are being praised, they said we celebrate it together, we're happy together. And they did it as if anytime they take any task, anything, they do it as if they're doing it for us. So that is what, even in a very toxic environment, you can decide to make it a better place where you can create that place you are. So long you're going to work for there, even if it's only 1 year left for you, even when you have an exit plan, make sure that the time you stay there as a leader, make that your place, be a safe place. In an environment where people can trust and can open up to you in that place. Even when the other outside units, the company at large may feel toxic, when they come, they should be happy. It should be a place where people want to work and open up when they have a problem. And as much as you are able to help, you're able to show them where you cannot help. You'll be able to guide them or even link them up to maybe information or connection that could help them in any area of life that there's any aspect of life that may concern. So this is just what I want to add. Thank you. Start hand over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Solomon. Wow, so much has been said by Dr. Solomon and Pastor Michael. I appreciate you both for these powerful contributions and the lesson learned in depth. And we have more questions to come still on the point. Okay, this one in particular, it's on point 10. Pastor Michael, you did mention an item number 10 being the comforter. You said a leader should be a comforter. And the question that comes says, what are the signs that someone on your team may need comfort, even if they haven't directly expressed it? So sometimes we have members of a team that may want you to sympathize with them, may want you to understand them without you knowing, obviously, because we don't read people's mind. But then again, they may say or act in a way that is calling for your attention. How then what are the signs that you should look out for as a team lead or as a leader, Pastor Michael, that person needs you to show him some affection or maybe comfort in a professional way? I don't know if you got the question or you would like me to read it again.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I got the question. So I would like to say this, that leaders are not mind readers. Then let me establish that and say that a leader is not a mind reader. So it's not going to be saying the leader is not going to be going about reading people's mind. It's very, very important. So the idea of being a comforter is just being there to know, in case when people really need comfort, to know that you're there to serve as a comforter for them. And you can't know those things until they tell you, right? You can't read their minds, but there's something you can do as a leader. You can inquire, how are you doing? How's your day going? Is everything okay? Is everything fine? Some of these questions can elicit, deeper things just by asking these questions. And so, but you're not a mind reader. You don't know if this person is going through a rough day or not, right? But you can know by asking. No assumptions. I don't believe in assumptions. I believe in getting precise knowledge with respect to situation and circumstances. If you suspect that someone is not having a good day, their productivity is dropping, they're moody and all of that, a simple how's your day going? Trust you're doing good. Is everything okay? And all of that is simple. And if they're not willing to share, if they're not willing to open up, you can't force it. So it's up to the other person to open up. But you must make yourself available as someone that is a comforter. I'm there for you. We're here to comfort you if you're going through any situation or circumstance. We can help. And this speaks to the first question that you asked. Just really being able to serve as a comforter, creating an enabling environment to help, to support. And so, who is a comforter? A comforter is just someone that is there to offer comfort when it is needed. There will be times where we need someone to just pat us in the back, to encourage us. There will be down times, and you need someone to help us with the lifting, with encouraging words. And so, those times, that's when the quality of being a comforter becomes critical. And you're not going to just say, why are you down? Why are you down? You don't, and you just say some words to take them further down. Your job is not to take them further down, but to comfort them. They might be going through something and you're offering comfort, at least for them to feel a sense of help, support within the team. And then you probe further to see what further support can we give this person to get this person out of this. Don't forget, and I said this in the first question, I say this again. You're not comforting them so that they can stay in misery and in mystery or in misery. In misery. You don't want them to stay in misery and you'll say, oh, well, we're just going to be giving you eternal comforting. It's not the function of giving this person eternal comforting. The person is in a situation, we need to comfort them and we need to be there to help them come out of that situation. We're not going to just stay there and say, oh, we offer you eternal comfort in that misery that you're in or in that situation you're in. But what can we do to get you out of it? That's what true leadership is about. And that's what we do as leaders when we offer comfort. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor Michael, and well understood. Okay, so moving on to other questions, because we have 3 more questions before we round up. So I'll just move as fast as I can. Dr. Solomon, you take the first. And welcome, Pastor Priest. Good to have you in the house. If you're available to speak, I would love to throw a question to you as well. Thank you for joining in, and we're blessed to have you. The question says, Dr. Solomon, based on points 11 that Pastor Michael spoke about communication, it says, how do you ensure that your message is understood as intended? I don't know if you got that question, Dr. Solomon.
Yes, thank you very much. I think this has a lot has said about communication, but one of the ways is when it depends on what you are communicating. If it is like who you are communicating to, if it's a group or it's one person. If it's one person, let's assume that you are maybe coaching someone, or maybe it's a feedback time. When you communicate, you must ensure that you are understood by asking for feedback. You can sometimes you summarize after saying something. You can summarize. This is what I said. This is what I said. You need to ask what the person understood. That is sometimes you just need to ask. That is one way. When the person repeat to you, what, even if he doesn't use the exact words, when he's able to communicate back to you that this is what he or she understood, you know that you have been understood. That is one way. But number one first is that Pastor Maggie talked about not communicating your emotions. In your emotions, maybe you are too happy, or maybe you are angry, or so you just communicate. No, that way. Try to communicate very plain and clear that somebody will understand. Don't speak to your own world that you have created, where you understand yourself. Try to come to where everybody can understand you. Speak clearly. Be very clear. And it's not a time to just impress when you are communicating with people that you have so much of vocabularies or whatever. Just try to, because the essence of your communication is that to be understood. That is actually the essence of communication. Then you also try to listen because in terms of communication, it's a two-way thing. Maybe when you say something, listen. Then let's assume that you are communicating, and after saying what you want to say, then your should I use the word subordinate, also want to speak back to you. If possible, you can jot down. You can repeat to the person that, because when we say communicating here now, it's a two-way thing. Because is this what you mean? Is this what you mean? Is this what you can? Those are some of the ways when there are some communication that you don't want to be misunderstood. You can take this action that where you have to. And another thing I can also say here is that let's always also have a clear mind. Sometimes when some people want to communicate, they have an agenda and they don't hear anything. That's why I say listening is very important. And when you listen also, before you write on what the person has, why not you repeat it together? Is this what you meant? Is this what you said? This is what I heard, but just correct me if this is before you start. Because if not, both of you will begin to trade words. This one will trade this way. No. So listen, let the person confirm that what you understood is what he or she actually said. You or let the person communicate to you that what you have communicated or what you have said is actually what he or she received. So that is is one way, one of the ways that you can apply to ensure that both persons are understood in a communication. So I think if you apply this, you will be able to do that. And like always remove the emotions. Try to be objective as much as you can. That is why it's important to ask if this is what you meant, this is what I heard, or if I did not. Then you say, okay, maybe even if the person was in trying to say, oh, I am sorry, that is not what I actually meant. Then to me, it may not be it may be, I may be informed of something, but I will take you back to what you said, and I will go in that, because the essence is not to get somebody wrong or get somebody right, but it's actually, most times when you communicate, it's either to inform or to inspire or to, so I want to ensure that it's just not for me to stand out or to kind of it's just a way of trying to find that the person you're communicating to actually understood you when you spoke. So that is what I think I will put forth as a way for you to find out that to ensure that you understood when you speak with people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you, sir. Pastor Michael, I don't know if you would wrap up on that question before we take the next one.
Yeah, I think that Dr. Solomon, I think, has touched on this with respect to that question. I think when we speak to communicating, of course, it's an extensive teaching on its own, but the key thing really at the end of the day is clarity. You have to be clear with your communication. Speak and elicit feedbacks. Be sure that this person understands what you're saying. And so that feedback loop is important to understand what is being said. So also use the right tone. It's important to use the right tone when communicating in order for the message being passed not to be lost in the tone. So it's always important to use the right tone and communicate as clear as it can be. Understand the different cultural differences when communicating in order for you not to say certain things in certain ways that can mean different things, right? So it's also important to understand the cultural differences, understand locational differences when communicating. When you know, because what something that may mean something to you, I mean something entirely different to the other person you're communicating with. So you've got to really communicate in a way that the person understands, putting into consideration cultural differences, and all of that. So it's very, very important, especially for those of us that are in multicultural environments where we have to mix with people from different parts of the world in our offices, in our businesses, in our communities. You need to understand these differences when communicating, because sometimes some things that you're saying, they might be misinterpreted or misunderstood. So you've got to be clear and consider all of these factors when you're communicating. I think I'm going to stop here for now. And hopefully, I think we should maybe teach on communicating as a whole teaching, because I think it's something that we must master as relationship builders. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you again. Pastor Praise, I'm coming up with the next question and I would like your input on it. But I would want Pastor Michael to go first because I know you missed the teaching based on what Pastor Michael said. Today's questions came basically from the teaching, and we have, based on point 14, community builders, Pastor Michael. The question says, how do you create a sense of belonging and inclusion within a community? So as a leader or as members of a community, how do you create a sense of belongings and inclusion within a community? Pastor Michael?
I think that every community builder knows the importance of inclusion and belonging in community building. And this is very important, especially belonging. When you're building a community, one of the ways you retain people within that community is if they have a sense of belonging. When people come into a community and don't have a sense of belonging, they leave that community, right? They leave the community. But when they have a sense of community, when they have a sense of community, or sorry, a sense of belonging within a community, then they they stay. You retain them in the community. You can retain them. And one of the ways that people can have a sense of belonging is you engage them, make them see, give them opportunity to add value, to contribute, right? Make them feel seen. They want to contribute, give them an opportunity to contribute, give them an opportunity to be a part of the vision. You see, that's how people, that's one of the ways people feel a sense of belonging in the community. People come in and you quickly get them to be involved. They're involved in what is going on. You find out where they want to be a part and how they can contribute. Then that is how people begin to feel a sense of belonging in the community. But if we just let them be, they are lost, they don't even know what's going on and all that, then they don't feel a sense of belonging, they don't understand what the community is about. A lot of things are happening and they can't really connect. Number two is, I think is very, very important, is in every community, it's always good to break communities into smaller groups. And this is something we're doing in the Spectacular City churches, break communities into smaller groups so that people can connect with themselves. When people come into a community and they're able to connect, they have a sense of belonging. They may not be able to connect with everybody in the group, but they're able to connect with one or two persons in the group. That is a sense of belonging. So, number one, get them involved. Number two, break or set up structures in a way that the community is broken into smaller groups where people can connect. And so, people should feel that the group is big enough to contain them and small enough to recognize them. So it's big enough to contain them. Yes, everybody's welcome, but it's small enough for them to feel recognized and valued. So that sense of belonging, that's how you create a sense of belonging. When people don't feel a sense of belonging in the community, they leave. They will leave. So make room for them to be involved. Also give them opportunity to connect. And number three, uh, set up the system in a way that they understand what is going on. They understand the community. They are not lost in the activities or things that are going on. They understand. It's very, very important when people understand this community, they understand the things, the ideas, or the activities, what is going on, what is driving these activities, and they see the value in it. They will stay. So they will stay when there's a clarity of what the community is about. They will stay when we give them a sense of involvement or involve them and we give them an opportunity to connect. They will stay. They will have a sense of belonging. Yeah. I don't know if I answered that question.
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Pastor Praise, I don't know if you're available to speak and if you'd like to add to this question.
Thank you, good evening, Mr. Michael. Good evening, everyone. Pastor Solomon, Sister Priye, Pastor Shay, God bless you all, and good evening to, we have, I think, Pastor Holly on the stage. Blessings to you all. I think Mr. Michael really has covered it from the side of the leader, their responsibility and what they would do to offer to the people who want to feel included. I mean, especially now, we are on a social media platform. So while he was speaking, I was thinking about how do we now really effectively do it on social media platform, because some of the things that you said, Pastor Michael, is very easy when we are in a space, when we connect with people tangibly, and you can see the expressions and see their willingness. It's easy to be able to place them, pull them in. You can see what might work or what might not work. But us being on a social media platform, I call these platforms where spirit connects with spirit. So it takes a lot of discernment. Really, a discernment has to be heightened in order for us to do what Pastor Michael has said, because people showing up and even speaking to you on any other platform connecting with you does not determine that they actually want to stay, that they want to be included. People come with different agendas. And so there needs to be a discernment for that. Because as a leader, as you open the door, we have to ensure that the vision is that the person that is coming in's vision is aligned with with the vision of the community first. Because people have agendas, and I'm not saying everybody else, everybody does, but we just have to make sure that the agendas align. They have an understanding of what the community is offering. They want to be a part of it. They also want to get involved in what the vision of the community, not that I'm coming in and I want to front it because I want to be seen. So that has to be truly discerned, from a leadership place. And even the person that is coming in must be transparent and have, be a person of integrity to say, really, I don't think anybody would tell Pastor Michael, I just want to be seen, really. But they should check themselves because it's a two-way thing. Me giving an opportunity to for someone to get involved and to do something, and that person's mind is not really aligned, is going to cause disruption, and then it might look like people are not being stable. It's not that they're not stable, it's just that the other person's vision is not aligned with the leader's vision of the community. So as leaders, we would have to, if the question is here is really addressing leaders, our discernment has to be heightened. I mean, if it was on 5, it has to go on, if not 10 more, because it's a different terrain. And it's only the Lord that would really help us, because it's easy to see people being, even when people are regular, you still don't know their minds and their hearts. And sometimes you want to pull people in, but they don't want to be pulled in. So what do we do in that? You're reaching out and then you find out that, well, I'm here, but I'm not even here. So leaders will do our part, but we have to work with discernment to ensure that we are truly hearing what the Holy Spirit is saying and not discard that information, because that can lead us into a place where efforts, unfortunately, I'll use that word, has been wasted, which should not be wasted, but it should be utilized to develop and to build. And I mean, when I see how Pastor Michael gets people involved in this community, I'm just amazed with that. And so other people also in other communities do try, but I see how sometimes visions are not aligned. So we just pray that that is definitely identified, so that we can all move together and lives are built and mission has been accomplished to advance God's kingdom. I yield my mic stand. Thank you.
Can I add something to because Pastor Praise has really brought some sense of life to this conversation, in the sense that she did bring and before I continue, I just want to say good evening, Pastor Praise. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's always an honor to have you here. The truth is that, and I really truly agree with you, especially when you're building virtual communities, there will be and that sense of alignment, right? It's a problem. 1 minute, please. It's a problem when we have a sense of really aligning ourselves with. You don't know. People come with different agendas, right? We have so many agendas. People you don't know, and you have to be discerning. And the truth is that you will do everything right, and people will still come and leave. And that's one thing I have come to know. You will do everything right, and it doesn't mean that sometimes there's no room for improvement. Of course, you do all the things, you set up all the systems. Some people will even come and want to disrupt the community. They want to disrupt. For those of us that lead teams in our offices, or lead teams in groups, people will just come. They just want to disrupt things. They come with their own agenda. And that's a problem. You need to be able to discern, to identify those people and root them out. Root them out by fire. so that they don't disrupt. Once the Bible says, "Be not deceived; evil communication corrupts good manners." You have a good community. One evil communication in that can corrupt the entire, community. So you have to be ready to weed out those things. Creating a sense of belonging doesn't mean that people can just come in and creep in. We've had, I mean, we're building community. We've been building community. We've had our challenges, huge challenges, and I've learned a lot of lessons through this journey of building community, especially digital community. People have different agendas. There are people that are, I mean, so many things. It's just so amazing. They come in and all that, but that's why you have to be clear about the vision, and at the same time make the vision, make the community understood. People should just understand what you guys are about. They should understand, they should know, and they understanding it as they come in, it will be difficult for them to change the direction of the community because the vision is clear. And once someone is doing something that doesn't align with the vision, everyone knows that this is an outlier. And so that's where leadership comes in, and setting up good structure and casting the vision, making it clear, comes in. And I'll say this, and I'll drop the mic, is that, and this is something I've had to learn. As a leader, you can't be a nice guy. You're not in the business of being a nice guy or a nice woman. Leaders are not nice people, right? You're kind. The idea is for you to be kind, but you're not nice. You're not in the business of being nice to people. You've got to have principles and stand by those principles. I'm telling you the truth. If you don't have principles as a leader, your community, your vision, your team will be in disarray. You will have people that will come and they will mess things up. Leaders are led by principles, and principles are not guided by niceness. I'm telling you the truth. When we come to principles, it's not guided. You can't be nice. No. You don't do that. It will come back to bite you. So every leader must be guided by principles. Those principles, everyone is subject to the principle, and it's impartial, and that's what should guide communities. Principles is very, very important. And so when someone breaks the rule, the uh, they are able to face the consequences. It doesn't matter who they are, right? And I'll say this, and I'll stop here. When you are bringing people into communities that you're building, avoid strife as a leader. When someone comes into a community and sow the seed of strife, that is the beginning of the end of that community. And so always root out strife. Be intentional to root out all forms of strife in the team, in the community, in the family, anywhere you're leading. Strife is the number one tool of the enemy to end that community, to end that vision. And some people are masters at stirring up strife. And so, as a leader, recognize this and fight against strife with everything you have. Fight against it. And if anyone is planting the seed of strife, root them out of the group. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, Pastor Praise, for that wonderful point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Michael. Thank you, Pastor Praise, especially for this. The Lord bless you, man of God, and thank you for joining us. So lastly, we take the last question, Pastor Michael. I'll drop it with you. It talks on point 12, which is courteous. I will drop the question with you, and then probably Pastor Praise can give our insight on it, on courtesy. So it says, what are some specific ways to demonstrate courtesy in everyday interactions in a professional settings? How can we specifically interact daily with cautious, as in being courtesy, but not in a way that is personal, but more of a professional way in dealing with people? Pastor Michael?
Yeah, I think it starts with the tone of your voice. Just because courtesy speaks to respect. That's what it means, right? It doesn't matter who you're speaking to, just really have a sense of, and I think it's something that, for some of us, we have to learn it over time, knowing how to speak to people with respect, knowing how to show courtesy, right? As simple as not interrupting people when they're speaking and so on. You feel like I can interrupt this person. I don't. This person must listen to me. The person is speaking, just listen. As simple as that. That's courtesy, right? Someone is speaking and you allow them to finish, not interrupt them because you feel that you're the boss and superior. And just you listen to me. You listen to me. No, the tone of your voice. Number two, just really speaking. You don't have to raise your voice because you're angry. Number three, you don't use abusive words. You don't even speak to them in an abusive or derogatory manner. You don't bring people down with your words. You build them up. No matter how angry you are, it's better you keep quiet. Avoid being snobbish. Someone is speaking to you, and you're just having this snobbish attitude towards them. It's not. These are important ways to show courtesy. Courtesy is a sign of respect. Sometimes we only respect people that are ahead of us. You see, one thing about me, and this is something how I know people is how they treat people that are below them, not above them. It's anybody can have great respect for people that are ahead of them, and all that. You can. But how do you treat people that are your level or even below you? People that that you don't need anything from them. You can treat them anyhow, nothing will happen. How do you treat that? How do you speak to that cleaner in your office? How do you speak to that gate man, that driver, that handy guy? How do you speak to them? Are you nice? Are you see them? Just how do you speak? That's how you know people. I said this one time in one of our teachings that you don't know a so don't let anybody say I'm humble. I don't know if you're humble until you have shown humility. And it's not about saying I'm humble. Your humility has to be tested, right? We don't know if you have integrity until your integrity has been tested, your honesty has been tested. We don't know. So many times these qualities are being tested daily and we fail woefully. And we come and say, I'm humble, I'm nice, or I'm kind and all that, but we're not. So courtesy is an important quality every relationship you must. I mean, people just know that you have a sense of respect. Just really respect people. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter where they come from, but you just have a sense of respect for people. And the truth is that and I'm going to stop here. You don't have to like people to respect them. And I think this is very, very important. Oh, I like this person, so I respect them. No. Respect has nothing to do with whether you like the person or not. Right? And again, I know this is a very hard pill to peel. Sometimes, and this one is tough, I know. Well, respect also has nothing to do with even how they treat us. It's difficult. I know. But just being a person that respects people, even if they don't treat you nicely, right? And all of that, the best you can do is get yourself out of that environment. Get yourself out of there. So if you're around people that don't treat you well, they're disrespectful, I don't think your response should be to disrespect them. I think your response is to get yourself out of that environment, get yourself out of that relationship, get yourself out of that community. That's what you do. Don't allow people to make you into something that you're not in a bid, to get you to react. Well, when it when it comes to being a person that shows respect or shows courtesy, let it be that that's who you are. That's who I am, no matter what. And at best, if I don't get the respect, I don't get the courtesy that is deserving of me, I will not reciprocate with that disrespect. Instead, I will get myself out of that situation. Thank you. Looks like Sister Anne is. Can I be heard? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, awesome. I see Sister Anne is not. Maybe she's having network issues.
No, so sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Pastor Praise, I don't know if you can add to this.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, thank you, Pastor Michael. Just some simple things of saying, remembering to say thank you and to say please when you're asking someone to do a task. Even if you're in a state, in the state of leadership, it's okay to still say please. It's okay to say thank you. Appreciating people's efforts it goes a long way. It's not just that we always telling them when they go offline or when they do something that is not, that doesn't meet our expectations. But when they do it, taking time out to, either appreciate them. Well, I'm going to use the word very carefully, personally, but you know what I mean personally is like the person is in direct communication and used to just say thank you. Maybe during a team meeting, just appreciating them. It's really areas where we show courtesy, and you're speaking to somebody across the room, we still say please. And something that I even do with my children. Sometimes I'm telling them off and I'm still using the word please, and it's almost like, do I need to use that word there? Yes, because I'm still letting them know that in my correcting, I don't have to be harsh, or I don't have to being so imposing, because I'm correcting out of love. So simple things. Some people just forget about saying thank you. They forget about using the word please. Is it okay? Can you? Just and Pastor Michael said something that was so important, which is the tone in which it's said goes a long way. It applies to leadership, even in the home front. I realize that sometimes even in the home front, people are not courteous to one another, because we take a lot of relationships for granted, so therefore we take even the communication for granted. But those are things that softens, it softens atmospheres, it softens, how we relate with one another. And so that would then obviously become an obvious thing when we're in the marketplace, to be courteous to other people when you practice it at home. I remember a boss said to me, "What's all this? Please, please, please." And I said to him, "It's because it's a common language. I use it at home." I hear people say, and sometimes I would say, also the sa sa sa. I know it's an African thing for me, but it's my own way of just showing the person that I'm a sign of respect. What's all this? And you don't understand the effect that it has. And I use it when I'm speaking to young people to let them know that you might be younger than me, but it doesn't mean that I should not be respectful towards you. And then I've also been in situations where people think, why are people always doing things for you? It's because of how I relate with them. There was a particular time that we needed to move, and part of the things that I don't like doing is moving, and we had to move office. And I called someone and said, please, can you help me do the movement of my entire office? And what would it cost? I paid her to do it. I didn't have to let everybody know. This woman came in, packed my whole office. And people were so upset. My other colleagues were so upset. They're coming to help her. They didn't help me. And it was a whole sack. And I was just looking at her, smiling, because people did not know why people were helping me. I would give them incentives to say thank you. So Bible says what your right hand does, the left hand should not know. So some of these things you might not do in public, and you're not bribing people, you're appreciating people, appreciate people's efforts. And even if you don't have that monetary point to appreciate them, you sometimes you even come into work and you say, I'm picking up a cup of coffee, would you like something? It's just simple things that we do. That goes a long way with our colleagues at work, business partners, whatever we are, at home. And it would help, I think, that overall relationships around us, not just from the marketplace ministry. I yield my mic on that. Thank you.
So I have a question for Pastor Praise.
Okay.
So Pastor Praise, and you did say something about please, but but what about cultures? Because there are certain cultures where the word please is not used. They don't use that word please. In fact, it's seen as it's not it's cultural that when they speak to themselves they don't say please. They just it's seen as polite when you speak even without using it. My question then is how do we factor in culture? Like, let me give an example. In the Scandinavian culture, the word please is not common, right? In the Scandinavian country, when you speak in the language, they just speak very plainly. You don't have to say say, yeah, sorry, sometimes we use the word, sorry, can you do this for me? Please, can you do this for me? I don't know where. They don't do that. They just speak in the language. So then it comes across as, for some of them, when you use that word, then it sounds patronizing to them. So that's the question. The question then is, how do we factor in uh, how do we factor in uh, um, different cultures when we start using certain words? Thank you.
Yeah, we adapt, sir. We adapt. So if I'm in a place where I know that a particular word will not come across well, then I adapt. I mean, I've been around my Yoruba friends, and I know that I just use their language. Sometimes I ask them, how do you say this word? And how do you say that word? And how would it come across? And I adapt. So I have a friend that I think she says do. She doesn't say pele. She says do. If I call her and I'm really, something is happening, there's a say do. So we adapt when it comes to cultures. I think we all have to do that, because we are in a especially in England, we're in a cosmopolitan world where we meet all sorts of people around us. So adapting to someone's culture in a way they would understand would go a long way. And sometimes we use it out of humor. So I know I'm speaking to somebody, a French person, and I'll ask them, how would you say this? Or how would you say that? And sometimes it might not come out the same way, but at least they will see that I'm trying to communicate something that they would understand. I do that a lot. So adapting, checking again, because we're communicating, we want to communicate right, so that we don't communicate something that is misunderstood from the other person's perspective, which I check. How can I say this so that you would understand what I'm trying to communicate? And I do it at that time. I might forget the word after that, but I've done it, and the message has been passed across. So I do that. Yes, sir. That's how I would deal with that.
Thank you, Pastor Priest. Powerful. Thank you, man of God. Dr. Solomon, I don't know if you have anything to add to this last question that I asked, which is, what are specific ways to demonstrate courtesy in our everyday interactions? I don't know if you have anything to add before I hand over to Pastor Mike as he conclude and round up the meeting today. Dr. Solomon?
Okay, thank you. I think the lesson is based on the previous submission, is just know where you are. When I came to this country newly in Norway, I had that problem. I still had a lot of Nigerianness in me, and I found out that a lot of people get offended, because it seems like you are trying to, like Pastor Michael said, you patronize them, and some of them don't like it. A lot of them don't like it. They just want to just be straight, just simple. There is no need to. And the answer is, if also try to know the culture, you are also helps you to know what to expect. Also, not just how to be conscious, even what to expect. So there is a law, I can't remember, is it Yardes law or something like that, that the Scandinavians believe in, that nobody should be treated better than anybody, and that you should not see yourself as if you are better than anybody, or that anybody is better than you. So you should not even plan to treat, but now, somehow in the work culture, because of the multicultural setting, so let us say, that the practice maybe in the US, in Africa, and also in the UK is seeping in a little bit. That is when you have mainly foreigners. So I think understand the setting you are. So that will inform you how you relate. If it is encouraged where you are that you should, then you can do that. But know when to switch. Like if you are in an international environment, you could be in different social settings. Maybe in your church is made up of different cultural set, people there. Maybe your place of work, there's some other social setting that you may belong to, maybe a school of your children, and that just know how what is expected. Because when you're trying to show conceit, let it not be that you feel you are trying to show conceit and you've been looked at as somebody who wants to take advantage of people, or you want to patronize people, and they look at you in a negative way. So I think that is just the only thing I can add. That is very important that we know where we are and know what is accepted, and that we flow with what is recognized as courtesy wherever we are. That is what I can add. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Solomon. Really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for joining in. As I yield the mic over to Pastor Michael, who would round us up on every other platform. And in closing, sir, give us a closing remark. God bless you.
Thank you, thank you very much. Dr. Solomon is my fellow Scandinavian, and so it's always important to know when to switch. And for some of us that are, multicultural, this is it's different. In some parts of Europe, respect is very, very important. In places like Italy and Spain, that is very communal. There's hierarchy, there's sense of respect. In the places like Western Europe, in Germany, in parts of in the Scandinavia, there's this flat system. You don't want to sound patronizing when you speak and all of that. Just really understand, in the Asian culture, respect is so important. In fact, as a matter of fact, just it's about understanding how they perceive respect in different cultures. And when you're in a multicultural environment, you then know how to, and I love what Pastor Praise said, adapt, and so it's very, very important. But I believe that respect is universal. It's a language that is understood, and it's understood in the tone of your voice. It's understood in just really being someone that is genuine. And I'm going to speak to that as I wrap up now. The most important thing that you must have as a relationship builder, the most important quality that you must have is to be genuinely authentic. You have to be authentic as a relationship builder. Be an authentic person. Come across as authentic. Let people see you and know that you're an authentic person. You're not faking it. You're not trying to be something you're not. And so be genuinely authentic. Number two, value people. When you value people, it doesn't matter the culture, it doesn't matter the location. Someone that values people will be recognized. If I meet anyone that values me, I would know. It doesn't matter the culture where they come from. And so, number two, have this genuine sense of value for people. When you meet people, show them that they are valuable. Show them that they are valuable. And number three, finally, is just have love in your heart for people. Great relationship builders love people. You've got to love people. So, number one, be authentic. Number two, value people, see people as valuable. And number three, have love for people. Love is a universal language. It is understood by all cultures, all races. It doesn't matter the location where you find yourself. People understand love when it is expressed. I'll say that again. People understand love when it's expressed. So once you embody these virtues as a relationship builder, you're able to build relationship with people across cultures, across generations. People that are far older than you, people that are far younger than you, people that are not within your culture, people that are within your culture. You're able to build relationship with them because you're genuinely authentic, you value people, and there is love in your heart for people. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this evening in our leadership service. Tomorrow, it's another interesting day. I'm going to be continuing with our relationship service. Don't miss it. Invite all of your friends. It's called Enjoying Singleness Part 2. It's going to be explosive. And so I'm going to be teaching tomorrow. So please invite all of your friends to join us on all platforms. For those that missed this teaching and you want to share it to your friends, we are live everywhere, including LinkedIn, TikTok, including Facebook, Instagram, and Podbean and Twitter Space. So please feel free to share to your friends to listen to the replay. And I trust that it will really bless them. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in on all platforms. Those on TikTok, those on Instagram and Facebook, those on LinkedIn, and those on our Clubhouse family. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on Twitter Space as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is the Spectacular City Church. We're running with a clear vision of building the city of Christ in the hearts of people, and our mandate is very clear, which is to bring in and build up one in every four persons for Jesus. If this vision resonates with you and you want to be part of this vision, please send us a message anywhere you are on all platforms where you're joining. Send us a message where you can join. The Lord bless you. The Lord cause His face to shine upon you. And you're going out and you're coming in, you're blessed. To the city, in the field, you're blessed. In Jesus' name, amen. If you can join me, let's share the grace together in fellowship. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit rest and abide with us now and forevermore. Amen. Surely God's goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. The Lord bless you. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, as we continue with our relationship service. You don't want to miss it. All my single people, I look forward to having you tomorrow as we dig into enjoying singlehood. The Lord bless you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much once again, Pastor Praise, and all the moderators. God bless you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.